How's that relationship evolved, you and Travis? How'd you like take me back to like the day you meet Travis Barker, because you know it's such a name, it's so iconic. He's one of those people you meet in the first time, like for the first time. It's like
the wind moves around him. You know, that's kind of how it feels.
You talk about Zen, man. You're talking about Zen before. I mean, that guy's like Zen.
He is, dude, and he's a presence. You know, he's just a presence, and people don't really understand it unless you kind of get to experience it. And
so where do you meet him for the first time?
I met him for the first time at Crossroads at his own vegan restaurant, and it was absolutely bussin'.
And like, he's interested at the time, working with you, comatose is out, kind of doing something.
He was so calm. I can't even really like remember verbatim things we said, but I do remember he kept bringing out food, and it was so good. And I was like, "This is vegan?" He was like, "Yeah," and that made me like trip out because I was like, "This is better than most food I have every day." Like what? And so that made me think. Number two was he was so calm, like. He wasn't trying to convince me. He really wasn't. And that's what convinced me. I was like, this guy really like, he's like, yeah, I haven't signed anybody to my label. He was like, and I don't know, you really seem like just like a perfect mold that I can like turn into something really great. And I was like,
what better teacher?
Yeah, what better
I love
teacher.
Travis EP in your album, EP in your diet.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, of course, like early on, just who you go with, who you work with as an artist, it's like so much trust is required. So when were you able to trust Travis? So when did you know this is the guy that I want to work with? You go to Crossroads that first day.
That's interesting. I was really insecure with it, for the first minute I signed to Travis because of the music I made. Like I hadn't been around enough of it to understand its value yet. I already thought rock was like the coolest thing. That's why I decided to do it. I thought it was like so different, and it didn't really make sense, for me to make rock music. So I was like, of course I'm gonna do it. But after that, we made Angels and Demons. He reproduced the whole thing. It was really, really sick. So what came out, Pray, I think, is whenever I was like, this guy really wants me to be something great. Just because that song, we cut it a while ago, long time ago. It was like the first song I ever cut at his house. And I come back and I'm like, I wrote a second half for it. There's my guitarist. What's up, dude? I wrote a second half for it, and I was like, dude, I want to release it. And he actually said okay. And up until this point, he had really been kind of making the decisions because I just, signed. And the lyrics were so intimate, and they were just so real, and he cared about it so much. After that song, I was like, I feel like this guy actually cares about me, and I knew he did already, but he just started to show it in so many different ways, and he would call me, and just so nonchalant, and like I really felt like I was gaining trust with him. But honestly, the biggest moment, that was like a little backstory. That was like a little backstory. But the moment that I realized was like my dad actually, like, we had like a falling out with my dad a little bit, this past year. And he really kind of stepped in a way that I needed. He didn't overstep anything, and he wasn't trying to like, weasel his way in. But he was there when I needed him, and like he really just gives me the best advice, and he shows me that he loves me, and he like treats me like a son. And that's when I was like, I'll go anywhere with this guy. I'd literally do it. If he told me to jump off a bridge right now, I'd be like, okay. And that's not a joke. That's like, I believe that he knows there's something below the bridge that I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like trust him with my life. And I'm so grateful. I love that dude.
When did you guys make the decision to open the album as you do? For if you're watching this and you haven't heard it, you hear Travis's voice first, and basically a huge endorsement from Travis Barker, for you and your music.
That was real.
So what was that? That was a voicemail?
He was calling. I forgot who he was calling. He was calling somebody to get in contact with my team, and that's literally how he talks, which is so funny. Like, he's just like, of course. I was like, of course you said next. I was like, he's up next. I've never heard it. You know what I mean? Like, that's such like different vernacular than I'm used to. So, but it's just bizarre because that's really how it was. Landon went up to him, was like, yo, this kid's making rock music.
Did you know Landon like personally?
Not at all.
No, never.
I didn't even really know he existed before they called me, right?
Yeah.
Because I knew Travis, but only briefly still, because I had just moved out to LA. And it was that day he called my management team, and they were like, yo, I want to work with Jaden. And that's literally as casual as it was. Yo, I'm interested in working with this kid. And after that, every single label in America hit me up, and I was like,
welcome to the music industry.
yeah, I was like, yo, what is going on? You know, they flew me out to New York. I really felt like a little JB moment. I was like, this is insane. And that's kind of how I'm feeling right now, man. Like, when I was walking around, seeing all the labels, looking like wide-eyed, you know, I'm just so blown away. That's how I feel right now in the exact same kind of way, is that like I'm looking at my album, I'm looking at all the support I'm getting, I'm like, there's no way, dude, there's no way I'm here.
Surreal, man.
It's surreal, and then all I can do is absolutely kill it, you know, and absolutely do my best and absolutely love everybody as much as I can, and so that's what I do.